Hello guys, back with another video. I just wanted to cover some setups that I took this week. I had a really banger week, about 15k across multiple accounts, and I just wanted to show you guys what I look for, what my thought process was, and how I'm executing. Now let's get straight into these charts. So first things first, let's look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll go throughout the week, and we're gonna go from higher time frame to lower time frame. Now right here, this is Monday Asia, London, going into New York. So the first thing I was looking at is this daily fair value gap. So what that looks like right here is this fair value gap, and we have plenty of lows down here. So you have these lows, you also have these lows. Okay, so before the week starts, though, that's going to be my general basis on the week. However, you'll notice with this current market we're in, you really have to go day by day and see how the day is developing, because that's how you're going to find setups. Every day is a little different. Some days the weekly bias might be bearish, but you might need to go long because that's just how the day is developing. It's really going to be based off news and how Asia and London session developed. You're going to have to execute a certain way on New York session. So getting straight into it. So the first thing that I was looking at is, let me go back here. So there we go. So we had Asia and London session simply accumulate, leaving all of these lows. Now, this draw coincides with our delivery, which is a bearish fair value gap. And it's okay if we draw outside the lines. This is a higher time frame fair value gap, and on the higher time frame, it's going to respect it. And as a result, we're going to go past it a little bit. There's room for error. There's room to draw outside of the lines, as ICT says. Now, my first setup was inside of this leg. As you know, my main model is going to be silver bullet. That's going to be about after market open up until 11 a.m. So this is what the first leg looked like. So came up, swept these highs, obviously Asia, London lows down here. First setup went for this inversion. I got short. I kind of cut it about break even right here. I just didn't like how it came down, and I entered, we came down, and then we started wicking back up. So I exited break even. That's okay. I managed my risk because there's a chance that it came and would rip through this high and potentially losing a lot more. So there's just no reason to stay inside of it. Okay, now the second setup was in here. We actually had 5-minute delivery, but mine main entry was this 5-minute inversion. So as soon as I saw us close below it right here, that was my sign that these lows are vulnerable, and as a result of these lows being vulnerable, we're likely going to trade lower. So as soon as that closed below, creating an inversion, I'm getting short. This is kind of a trade where you have to have a wider stop loss, so it's all the way up here. There was other entry methods in here. You had just the normal fair value gap for silver bullet. However, I wanted to make sure I got this entry, and as a result, yes, I got a little bit, probably a slightly worse risk to reward, but I guaranteed that I was going to get that entry. So that is our first setup. Now let's go on to the next. Now getting into the second setup, this is going to be Tuesday. And the first thing I saw before market open was this 1 hour fair value gap. Now, yes, we have all of these highs. However, I see this and I know we have bearish delivery, and alongside it, we have a bearish draw, which was all of these lows. And it's the same theme you're going to see through every setup. There's going to be some kind of higher time frame delivery, some way that the bias is created based on a higher time frame PD array, and then there's going to be a clear target that matches with it. Now, if one of the two is out of whack, then I might not take a trade. But right here, I saw good opportunities. So this was that same leg. So we came up, we swept these highs. We're sitting in a hourly fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. So my first setup was this inversion. And I believe the 30-second might look a little better, but just for saving time, I'll just show it as this. So we came, price closed below it, and sure enough, it came back. I stopped my nearly break even, so that was okay with taking that loss. And then right here, another perfect inversion, except this time we have even more lows, so it's a overall better setup. So I shorted here. I ended up exiting early. Price was just moving super slow. ES is moving weird. I'm fine with that. Yes, it ran down to our main targets, which was these lows, but that's okay. I still ended the day green, which is all that matters. Now going on to our next setup. So this setup was based on the idea that we took this 4-hour low right here, and this was actually New York PM, this really significant low because it's hanging out of nowhere. And we also have some other PD arrays in here right here. So that's actually an inversion. So price is referencing these PD arrays, and we also have clear targets. So once again, we're using higher time frame PD arrays with a clear target. All of our setups are going to be based off of that. So first setup, try to enter right here on this, I think it's a 1 minute fair value gap and discount, expecting these equal highs to be hit. We have a bunch of highs in here. Okay, so was not hit, and then that was my first real loss of the week. And then I went for it again. We took out this low, just a New York PM low. We're inside of a macro, and sure enough, news hits. I'm already in this trade. So this is an inversion. Looking back, regardless if it was a win or not, it was a little bit not the best entry because price did not close above this fair value gap, as you could see, right? So looking back, in that moment, I thought, okay, it's all right. But looking back, wasn't the best trade. But, you know, we live and we learn. 3 to 4, literally 130 points in a minute. That's how long it took. So yeah, that was Wednesday. Now let's go on to Thursday, which is going to be our final. So I saw this low as well as this low in here. So this was our previous day low, and you could see price is just coming down. It's making more and more lows. Like, it's really obvious we're just gonna fade off later in the day. This is the day before NFP. Normally I'm not trading at this time, but you know, the setup presented itself, and it was a good opportunity. So right here, you can see we have a 30-minute gap. We come in and we tag it perfectly. Now looking back at that same spot, and let me mark out just so we could get a better perspective of what it looks like on the lower time frame. So this 30-minute bearish fair value gap was a perfect delivery. We tag it, start trading lower on the 5-minute. This is how I watched the trade develop. I was simply waiting for this 5-minute to invert, and what that's going to do, it's going to give me the signal that these lows are vulnerable. So I'm going to trade towards these lows once that confirmation is made. Sure enough, we close down below it, and then I'm looking for an entry. Originally, I wanted it to trade up into here, but I could tell there was a good chance we weren't going to. So what I did is I simply entered on this 1-minute fair value gap. Still fits inside of my model. I use inversion or normal bearish fair value gaps. And sure enough, perfectly executed, came to our target. You can see it just chops the rest of the day. There's no reason to reach for more. It's nearly a 1-3. It was a good trade. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. It's been a very exciting, volatile week, and I hope we could keep capitalizing. You guys have a good day.